Let's start with the significance of your travel to South Africa and specifically to hand over the list of these individuals. Why was this important?
Good evening and good evening to your viewers. It was very important for the South African Chamber of Commerce in the US to travel to South Africa so that we could share the details of those folks that have registered on our website to receive more information and express their interest in the refugee program as contained in President DonaldTrumps executive order of February 7th, 2025. Immediately following the executive order, it was about 5 p.m. US time that we got the information. We relayed that through to some of the folks we knew in South Africa, and it just spread like a wildfire. By the time I woke up on Saturday morning, February 8th, I had 7,500 emails in my mailbox, over 2,500 texts, WhatsApps and Facebook messengers, and basically our mail server crashed. We couldn't deal with the volume of inquiries that we received, which was totally unexpected.
Yeah. The reception at the US Embassy in South Africa when you handed over this list of nearly 70,000 individuals, and someone is probably asking them the question at home, why did the South African Chamber of Commerce take it upon themselves to do this? Is it because the process itself by the US government was not immediately available?
I think the executive order caught some folks off guard. I don't think everybody was fully prepared for that. But when the executive order was signed by President Trump, it immediately spread like a wildfire. There were no channel through which people could make inquiries, and rookie mistake, the Chamber on our press release put down an email address and a phone number, and that happened to be mine. So we needed to navigate a very challenging environment with a floodgate of people expressing interest in President Trump's offer to resettle South Africans, Afrikaners specifically, to the United States. We created a space on our website where folks could register to only obtain information. And literally within a very short period of time, it grew from 5,000 to 10,000 to 20,000. And basically at that stage, we kind of stopped sharing information. We saw what an impact it had with these numbers being spread out there. And people are talking about 5,000, 7,000, 17,000, 20,000. So we decided not to share the information further, but the website was still active for people to register.
Yeah.
I traveled to Washington, D.C. that following week, reached out to the State Department as well as the U.S. Embassy in South Africa to indicate that we would like them to make a channel available for South Africans that would like to get more information and register for refugee status. That cannot be the responsibility of the Chamber. We found ourselves in a very uncomfortable position. Our focus and mandate is business and economic diplomacy, and this really stretched so far beyond what we are supposed to do. But we were in the space, so we did our best not to abandon people and just ensure that we collected details and information that we could then hand over when the time presented itself. And that really is why I traveled to South Africa with a small delegation of our chamber so that we could engage with the mission of the United States in South Africa, establish what the progress is, get first-hand information, and then hand over the details that we have collected of South Africans.
I'm going to latch on to what you have just said, that you were inundated, and you're not a political organization. In fact, you make that clear in your press release. A critic is going to say, so why take up this challenge in the first place? And they might even criticize you, saying, are you not perpetuating the supposed ill treatment of Afrikaner or people who identify as Afrikaners in South Africa? Do you not risk your organization walking around with that tag?
I think our organization walked on a very, very narrow line. It's very important for us to maintain good and solid relationships, both on the side of the United States, where we operate and where our members are, but as well with the South African government and the South African clusters of the economy with which we deal as far as export and trade relations and binational trade between our two countries. We didn't want to be in that space. We created that space so that people could get out of our mailbox and out of our servers, that we could get back to doing the business. It's well known that our servers actually crashed on February 8th with a volume of people that just approached us. We never in our wildest dreams expected that this amount of people would express interest. We don't encourage anybody leaving. We also don't deny anybody the opportunity that would like to join our South African diaspora in the United States and seek different or other opportunities that they may or may not have found within South Africa.